This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
We'll talk about the Thunder and Lightning in a moment, but as soon as I mentioned Terry Gordy, you had a reaction. Not a good idea. This is not the Terry Gordy we grew up with.
Oh,
tell us who was an advocate for this, how it happened, why it didn't last.
Well, I think anybody that was there was an advocate for it because it gave Terry a chance to get back in the game. Because anybody that knew Terry over his lifespan as a pro wrestler knew that there was never a better athletic big man than Terry Gordy.
Yep.
I mean, he was greatest at 16. And I bet we have a fair amount of folks enjoying our product here that's in their, young. And think about that. Think about going on the road with a bunch of men and you're 16 or 17 years old and you're wrestling and holding your own with all of them. All of a sudden you're maybe the best worker on the card and you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have that Terry Gordy. Terry Gordy was a hire. I mean, Michael Hayes was very instrumental in getting Terry an opportunity to make some paydays. Our hope was, Conrad, maybe we'll get lucky here. Maybe the spark will ignite, but talking to Terry, you could tell something wasn't quite clicking. He's kind of burnt out. And I think a lot of that was, his heavy use of drugs over the years, concussions. How many concussions do you think he got taking chair shots from the Von Erichs?
Right.
I'd say many. So he wasn't the same. He was damaged, Terry Gordy, damaged goods. But we were hoping that he instinctively, that he could execute what we needed him to execute and protect our investment in the Undertaker and give the Undertaker another big guy that could bump fairly well still as a new adversary. Again, 7 foot, 300-pound baby faces need big adversaries more often than not. So I think all of us were for bringing Terry back to try to give the guys some payday and some self-esteem. You couldn't help but love the guy. But we saw firsthand what he had become, and he did not need to be back on the road, in my opinion. But we didn't know that beforehand. I'm not being a mind reader or some predicting the future. I said this about Scott Hall one time. We did the Plane Ride from Hell show. We didn't do Scott any favors putting him back on the road.
Right.
We thought he was ready. His buddies thought he was ready. We wanted him to be ready, but he wasn't prepared to go back for the on the road with all the temptations and so forth. Terry, I didn't notice that about him. I just thought when we got him hired, it wasn't the same. So luckily we got through it, but it didn't last long. And that's why it didn't last long. Can you imagine a vibrant Terry Gordy working with Undertaker?
Or Steve Austin?
Oh, yeah. We can start to just go down the list.
Or Shawn Michaels, on and on and on.
Yeah, but we didn't have that guy.
Right. Let's talk about the next pay-per-view. In Your House, It's Time. We would see the Undertaker work with the Executioner. We know this is really going to be Terry Gordy's only stop in the road for the World Wrestling Federation. But Mankind's here, and he's actually put in a straitjacket during the match and then thrown through the entranceway, destroying the front door and the window of the old In Your House set. Even if he's not technically in the match, he's still doing his damnedest to steal the show and play his role, so to speak.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was so over at that point in time. And he was another guy that was, because people started respecting his work and they enjoyed his performances. He was another guy that was kind of swimming upstream as a heel because he was that unique. People kind of enjoyed his game. They enjoyed his shtick. And so, it was an interesting booking because both guys are kind of transitioning, one on a different level than the other, a different timeline, better said. So, but the Executioner thing, I felt so bad about that. I feel bad about it this very day because I had immense respect for Terry Gordy. And, you know, when Gordy and Dr. Steve Williams were tag teams, I just thought they were the best.
Yeah.
And when they worked with the Steiners, to me, that was it, man. That was some good shit right there. As Vince would say, God damn it, that's good shit. And it was good shit. And, but he just, you know, his lifestyle took a toll on him, and he just wasn't processing information as quickly. And we thought, well, he'll get back into that mode where things will just start coming natural to him, and it'll be instinctive muscle memory. And we didn't get that.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.